Now as it is, the Toyota crossover lineup in the Philippines looks pretty solid for us. You got the Raize as the entry-level model, the Corolla Cross who want to step above it, and the RAV4 for those looking for the premium experience. But the folks at Toyota Motor Philippines thought they would squeeze in another model. It's this one, the Yaris Cross, and we're wondering if it's one crossover too many or if it's a perfect fit between these two fellas. Now first things first, this Yaris Cross is nothing like the one sold in Japan or in Europe or Australia. This one is based on the DNGA or Daihatsu New Global Architecture. Now it's primarily focused for emerging markets such as ours, Indonesia, Thailand, Cambodia. And that also means this car also shares the same platform as the all-new Wigo, the next generation Vios, the Raize, the Avanza, and the Veloz. So does that mean it'll ride the same as the other cars? Well, not exactly, because they all have different wheelbases, different suspension tuning, but more on that later. Now, as for the design, well, it's a touch of RAV4 here at the front, a hint of Yaris, and a few dashes of the Corolla Cross, particularly around the grille area and the front fascia. Now, over to its side, well, there's more of a baby RAV4 look going on here and a baby Corolla Cross. Now, this particular section here at the back, that is very Corolla Cross. While everything in front here, well, again, it's a baby RAV4 and I actually quite like it. And speaking of things that I quite like about it, is this shade of blue. And quite frankly, we need more color choices instead of the usual black, silver, white, or gray. Now the back of the Yaris Cross, you're gonna see what I mean with a mix of Corolla Cross and a bit of Yaris and RAV4 here with that taillight design. And also I noticed this low sill right here, which is good if you're going to load in items. It makes it easier to slide it in and out because of the low liftover. Now this SHEV model comes with a power tailgate. Now other variants have them except for the base model, and you are greeted by a fairly sizable trunk. And for those who think that the cargo area is a bit shallow, you can actually move this floor and slide it down to give it a deeper well. So it's sort of like a modular floor, so you can fit in taller items at the back. And you also have a tonneau cover for extra security for your luggage. Now inside the Yaris Cross, you might think that you're simply in a larger Raize or a smaller Corolla Cross, but that's totally not the case here. It's its own unique design. Yes, it has the free floating screen right here, just like in most Toyota models these days. But the design itself, the dashboard fascia, is its own unique thing. You got these edges here and sharp angles just basically everywhere. And I have to say that it matches pretty well with the exterior design. I also like these things. So got these blue trims right on the dashboard and right by the seats and even by the gear selector and whatnot. You got a USB-C, a USB-A, and of course wireless charging, which is becoming more common these days. Now in this SHEV model, you get a digital instrument cluster. You also get niceties such as, a whole host of buttons right on the steering wheel. You even get adaptive cruise control and basically the whole suite of Toyota safety senses features. So aside from adaptive cruise control, you also have forward collision warning and whatnot. And another thing is this little fella. Now this thing is actually a dash cam, and before you think that this is a fitted accessory to this particular model, it's not. It's actually standard on most variants of the Yaris Cross. So you no longer have to go to an accessory shop to get one fitted. Toyota's got you covered with this one already. But how are things at the back of the Corolla Cross? Well, this SHEV model does have a bit of a surprise. And it's more of a surprise and delight thing, and probably not a lot of people will appreciate it, but even the tops of the rear door cards are soft touch. So that's a nice little premium add-on for this particular model. Now, in terms of legroom, I'm not going to give a full review yet, but you'd expect that it would be more than the Raize and less than the Corolla Cross. Now, I also like this. You rarely get that in this segment of crossover, and I'm glad that Toyota actually fitted one of these. Other things, you have an almost flat floor, so maybe there's gonna be an all-wheel drive down the line, who knows? And also you have rear AC vents. So you got two USB-C ports down here, and if you're noticing that's a little bright in here, it's because it has a panoramic glass roof. Now notice I said glass roof and not sunroof because this doesn't open. Only the roller cover slides back, but not the glass panel itself, to let in a little bit more sunlight or moonlight, whatever the time of day may be. Alright, so now we're behind the wheel of the Yaris Cross SHEV, so we're in the hybrid model right now. This is gonna sound like a weird little thing to say. This is the least DNGA feeling model of the DNGA range. There's this nice heft to the steering wheel, there's this nice, general feeling of it, and, going over bumps and humps. This feels nothing like the Banzon and the Raize and all the other cars that it's based on. And funny enough, I actually drove a Raize right before I drove this one. And surprisingly, Toyota can actually make the DNGA platform feel more premium, feel more hefty and more upmarket, which is a bit of a shocker because, truth be told, I was expecting a sort of tinny driving experience, and I've always sworn by Toyota's TNGA platform. Now, the TNGA platform, when you drive in one of those, it's like, yes, this is a Toyota product. This one, there's still a hint of Daihatsu, but I can feel a little bit more Toyota DNA in this one. It doesn't have the totally dead and inert steering feel of the Avanza, nor does it have the overboosted feel of the Raize. It actually has a potential to be a fun chassis, and yes, it's a hybrid, so it's going to be quieter, but even when the hybrid motor kicks in, it's not a loud droning noise or any of that, and even the operation of the hybrid drive system is smooth. Again, not something I would expect from a DNGA platform vehicle. This, perhaps by far, is the most solid feeling and most substantial of all its platform mates. Okay, between the Raize and the Yaris Cross, which one would I pick? Would I rather save money and get the smaller Raize or get one of these? I would go for one of these instead, even in the basic petrol-powered form, and they're almost the same in price, but in terms of ride, refinement, comfort, heft, and everything in between, this is just superior, and particularly the V gas model, because that is actually pretty damn good value. But how about this SHEV? Well, the SHEV and the V Corolla Cross hybrid, well, they're somewhere sort of in between, and the price difference is almost negligible. So would you rather get this one over the Corolla Cross? Well, it's going to be a bit difficult. The Corolla Cross, it has that cachet. It also rides on, let's be honest, the slightly better platform, the TNGA platform. At the same time, it has Toyota safety sense and etc. So it's a bit tough to call between the Yaris Cross hybrid and the Corolla Cross hybrid. But what about you guys? I want to hear from you. Would you consider the Yaris Cross or the Corolla Cross instead? But I've already said my piece. I would rather have the Yaris Cross over the Raize, hands down. Now for the full review, well, we're gonna save that for another time because we're only taking initial impressions. So until next time, we'll catch you on the next review of this SHEV and the regular gas-powered V variant. See you next time.